Hello, I'm Maciej from Ionea talking about data loss prevention. If you're responsible for maintaining servers, routers, switches, and all those stuff, you should know where are your devices. Where are they, how they are configured, how they are connected. You should definitely know that. But from some level, it's definitely not possible to have all that in our minds. And there is also a level where documents, Excels, and stuff like that will just not work. There is the place when Netbox could came in. Netbox is DCIM and IPAM. So data center infrastructure management and IP management. So how you can use it, how it could be helpful for you. For example, devices inventory. You can keep information about your devices, type of devices, IPs of devices, configuration, and of course where it's connected and where it is placed and how it is connected. Next thing, IP addresses, inventory for IPs. So you will have all that information about IP of devices, about the networks, about the VLANs, about the even VRFs. All that information could be kept there. Next one, virtualization inventory. You can keep their information about hosts, about the clusters, about the VMs, about the IPs for those VMs, about configuration of that VMs, etc., etc. A lot of possible information to be kept. Next thing, network inventory. This network, let's say from our perspective, this classic network, which are handling data. You can keep their information about source. So from what device, what interface, via a cable, what kind of cable, how long cable, and where it's connected to what device, what port. That's very important to know. Next, power cords. So it's also possible to keep information from which PSU to which power cord it is connected. Next, when you are thinking about any kind of automation like Ansible, Terraform, or using API in your infrastructure, you need to have high quality source of truth. Netbox could be that kind of source of truth because it have very well prepared API. It could be used to get information or to put information. Next one, teamwork. Someone make updates, it's visible for the rest of team. Please remember that the network is developed to very huge scale companies. So from the smaller company perspective, it could be a little bit overcomplicated because of that possible scale. When you shouldn't think about the Netbox, when it will not work. First, if you have 1 or 2 racks and you are alone, that probably makes no sense to implement Netbox. Additional thing, if you are not consistent or your team, then it probably makes no sense because you will put a lot of effort to implement Netbox, to implement the information in the Netbox. Then if you will not make it up to date, probably a little bit later you will consider that it's not up to date, so maybe it makes no sense to put another update, and on the end it will be useless. In this material I will show how it could be configured inside, so how the information could look like, what we can configure, and how it's more or less organized inside, basing on demo. Then we will install Netbox using Docker Compose, and I will show where the data are kept to be able to backup it. We also prepare script to backup database. Also, please remember that in this material, I will show how to configure all that inside. It's definitely behind this material. So probably that kind of material will appear on the channel, but probably a little bit later. So that's it for the beginning. I will show all of that, but first, sponsored part. If you need our support in designing, implementing, or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access, or TrueNAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks, and now let's get back to the technical details. Okay, let's take a look on demo, how it could be configured. You can test it on your own way. You can reach it on demo and Netbox dev. You can log in there using credentials admin, or you can create your own account. This is a dashboard. When you will log in, you will see something like that. This is quick sum up: organization, IPAM, DCIMs, so devices, circuits, its connections, uplinks, connections, virtualization, and changelog. On the beginning, you can see something like that. Let's go to organization and region. Like I mentioned, Netbox is designed to beginners, definitely. So regions, it could be useful definitely in bigger environments. Let's go straight to the racks. Let's start from the sites. It would be better. Sites, you mean DC or the office or whatever, the physical localization. Let's take a look on this one. We can see where it is, the group, the status, physical address, what we have there. So circuits, devices, prefixes, racks, VLANs also. The contacts, so it's the list of the person which we could contact if we want to do something, reboot, reset, or change, whatever. Changelog, so it's the changes in last 90 days. Now let's go to the racks. We have the list of the racks, and once again the name, location, site status, height, the devices, and utilization. Let's take a look on that one. And once again the site, status, role, serial number if necessary, and the visualization, so we can see, for example, some patch panels, some devices, some additional devices from the front side, from the back side. Also we can see what we have there. Also, when we are not able, when something is not racked, whatever it is, we can add it here, because sometimes we put to rack something what cannot be racked, what is not rack mounted. We can add it here. Reservation, if we have a place in rack when we don't want to rack anything, we can do that reservation. Once again, contact, images when we want to upload some photo, and once again 90 days changelog. Next one, devices. This is the clue. We have the list of devices, and once again name, status, site, role, what more, manufacturer, type, IP if it have it. Take a look on this one. What do we have here? Once again, region, site, etc., etc. Devices type, airflow, serial number. Definitely we should have it here. We have visualization of rack where we have that router, that particular router. It's highlighted here. What's more, the role, primary IP, management IP, probably OS management, and the next tab, interfaces. All devices have interfaces. I mean, not all, but from our perspective, device to contact with whatever, it have to have interface. So take a look at that interface. On that router, we have gigabit interface, for example. It's connected via gigabit cable to that switch on that port. We can click trace and we can see the visualization of that connection. Very useful information. Next one, interfaces. So we have sorry, let's get back to devices once again. I forgot something. We can always, if necessary, we can always add inventory items to keep, for example, CPU or DIMMs or whatever we have there. We can have the list of parts which we have in that particular devices. We don't have it here, but it will appear when we will add it. Once again, let's go to interfaces. This is the list of interfaces, all interfaces connected to devices. Connections. Connections are cables. So cables, let's take a look. This one, this cable is that kind of connection. It's red, it's important, it's red. It's connecting this device, this port, this device, this port. Great. The same about the console cables, the same about power cables. Let's go to IPAM. We have a list of IPs. We have prefixes. Prefixes are assigned to particular VRF, particular tenet, particular VLAN, particular role. Those are very important information. Next one, we have VRFs and VLANs if necessary. Let's go to virtualization. We have a list of virtual machines managed by us. Every virtual machine could have to have, I'm not sure, probably have to have cluster, IP, disk, role. Let's take a look at that. And once again, the place, the role, the platform, etc., etc. Assigned interfaces, assigned virtual disks, changelog that changes in 90 days. The same about power feeds, a list of power feeds. What is important also from perspective of management, we have changelogs. So those are all implemented changes. If we will make a mess ourselves or someone make a mess, we can clearly see what was happened. So when, who, what device, and exactly what was changed. Maybe not this one, this will be more clear. Updated this device, this object, and take a look on that change. What was happened? Difference. Primary IP was null, so there was no. And after that change, primary IP was assigned. 31, it's not the, of course, it's not the IP, it's the ID of IP in our system. So this is all what was changed. What is also important, this is the request ID. Please take a look that those are the same. What that means? That means that someone made a change which impact two positions. So device was changed and IP was changed in the same request. Next one, what I would like to show you, for example, if you have the list of IP, we always can do something like export. What will happen then? We will have all of devices in list. We always can do the reverse, the same in the opposite side. So if we will have the list of these devices, we always can do import. So import, upload file, we can do the opposite side. What more? If, for example, what you see here, it's not the same, for example, you will not see the IP addresses or type or whatever, you always can configure table, add something, remove something, whatever, and save. You will see exactly what you want to see. We can start configure our new Netbox. Where we should start? So from the GitHub, Netbox community, Netbox Docker. Here we have quite clear instruction for quick start. So let's copy that and try to do that. So git clone, and here it is. It's configured. So the quickest way it's just to put docker compose app -d. It will work, but we want to do something else, not exactly in the base way. So what we want to achieve? We want to achieve that all our information, all our data will be in the place where we can handle it. I mean, copy, manage it, and to be able to know where it is, and yeah, just to be able to backup it. So, long story short, we will create additional folder, Netbox data. Here it is. It is created. And now we will copy env here. Why? Like I mentioned, we want to have all our data in separate folder. Please remember that we just make the pool. I mean, we just clone the repository. Like I mentioned, just docker compose app and it will work, because we have defined it. Passwords, mails, and stuff like that. It's the worst way to use it in production, just to leave it like that, because we have, for example, a database name, database passwords for Postgres, for Redis. We definitely not want to use it like that. So, like I meant, before you will spin up a Docker, please change it, because it has to be changed before spin up the database, because it will spin up with this data. I will not change it. I don't need it to change it, because it's my test environment. Okay, so we have moved the data. What's now? Let's go back to our Netbox Docker. Here it is, Docker Compose YAML. It's the way how the Docker Compose will be run. So, first, start service, name it Netbox. This is the image. This is depends on. So, the Netbox will start only if Postgres, Redis, and Redis cache will be up. He have environments in env, netbox env, so the all configuration will be there. Like I mentioned, we move it to somewhere else, but one by one. User, root, health check. So he will do the health check to know is he health. Oh, health check. That's obvious. Next, volumes. So he will keep his data. Configuration, media, reports, scripts. He will keep it in this place. Next one, Netbox worker. For example, if you run the scripts under the Netbox, the scripts will be passed to additional Docker. It will be Netbox worker. It will be managed in the background to allow us to work on our front end. It will be handled on the backside, on the backend. So what that means? That means that please take all setups from Netbox, like that, from here, and add additional. So Netbox conditioned service health. So Netbox worker will start only when Netbox will be healthy. Command started inside the worker, health check for Netbox worker, the same Postgres image, health check, environment, places, volumes, the same Redis, cache. We can see that all that volumes are handled by Docker. So we would like to avoid that. We need to add some change some variables, and also add additional. For example, we don't have port exposed here. Docker Compose have something like override. we will change that name. We will delete that example, and Docker Compose working like that. Please take all of that settings and spin up. But if you find override file, please override the origin configuration by this one. So you can see that we have, for example, ports exposed, which wasn't in the Docker Compose file. We would like to change some stuff to allow it to work like we want. So let's use, I have prepared that file. It will be like that. So override in service netbox. Override or add, because there wasn't restart unless stopped. It's necessary because if there will be no restart, it will not restart after the reboot server or something like that. The netbox will not start. Exposed port. If you have occupied that port in your Docker server, you need to change that to have to be 1 or whatever, to forward to port 8080 on container. And file, like I mentioned, we want to use our environments file, not this one which we cloned from the repo. Also, we want to be able to handle our data, so we will not allow Docker to handle our data, but we want to have them in our Netbox data folder. The same for Postgres. Always restart, change environment files, change volumes. The same for Redis, the same for Redis cache. Okay, so we have our Docker configuration, the base one, and our override. And all what we need to do now is Docker Compose up and detach. Okay, of course. We need to go to the Netbox folder, Netbox Docker, and Docker Compose and up and detach. He will download the ISOs, not the ISOs, but the images. He will configure all what he needs to configure. It will take a while because, moreover, he will fail. I mean, it will not fail, but it will take too long. I will show you what's going on. Let's go to the Docker. Docker logs, first PS. We can see that this one is 46 seconds. Health is starting. Okay, let's copy the name and let's do like that. Docker logs container -f, and we will see the logs, what's going on inside of container. So we can see that he's applying database migration. He will do what he need. At the first start, it will take at least a couple of minutes. We will see that, yeah, 80 seconds. It is over 80 seconds now. It will take a while. We can wait. This spin up will fail, but like I mentioned, okay, we can see that it's configuring a lot of things. It will, like I mentioned, take a while. This one will fail, but just because the timeout. So let him work, and we will back. Super, initialization is done. He's waiting for our request via website, but we need to do last thing. We need to set the administrative password. To do that, we will need to use that command. So docker compose exec. So ask Docker Compose to log in to the Netbox. start the manage py. Manage py is it's Django. It will set up the Django environment and execute create super user. Create super user. Django, he will spin up the Django because Django is a framework used to develop Netbox. Okay, login, mail, and password. He will be angry because less than 20 signs, but yeah, I'm aware of that security risk. Create super user. Okay, it's done. So what we should do now? We should go to our Docker IP, Docker server. So it will be okay, and the port 8080 it's the port which we have discussed, 8080. Okay, let's try. Not now. And sign in. Voila. Okay, so it's done. We can put some data here, but first let's take a look on our infrastructure. I mean, our structure of the project from the data perspective, and let's prepare some backup. How it looks like for now. For now, in Netbox Docker folder, we only what we have changed is this file. We have add here our setup. The rest of data it's here in Netbox data. And we have discussed about that. Please take a look that we have additional folders. They were created automatically. Netbox Media, Postgres, Redis, etc. scripts and reports. We will not see anything in Postgres because he is using different user to manage those data, and the privileges are 700, so we will not be able to see them, but they are there. We can see them in this console. I'm logging as a root, and here it is. We see them here. So we have our Netbox, we have our databases in place where we want it to be. What we should do now? Now we should create some script which will perform the backup. Let's do that. Let's do that. Backup sh. Here it is. I have prepared a quite simple script to backup. It will look like that. So bash, use the bash backup folder. It's the place where we want to keep our data. Please take a look. It will be this folder. Container name. How we should know container name? That's the good question. Docker PS. Let's see. Our Postgres Alpine, and the container name is this one, Netbox Docker Postgres 1. It's here. The next variable is how many days we want to keep backup. What's next? Next script will create that folder if it's not exist. And next he will log in to container and execute bash with pgdump. He will do the dump. He will use Postgres user, he will use localhost, he will use Postgres DB name, and he will forward it to zip to make it zipped. To backup folder, this is the name and date. Okay, let's try to use it, but first we need to add additional thing. We need to add execution possibility plus X Netbox data backup scripts. Okay, Now he's executable. Let's try to execute it. Okay, here it is. The folder is created. The backup is here. Perfect. So we need to be able that this script will be executed automatically, of course. What we need to do? Cron tab, E. Yeah. We need to put here something like that on the end. So how it works? No, too much. Too much. Too much. Okay, how it works? Please remember that on the end you have to have additional line. It will not work without it. How it works? Every minute, every hour, every day of the month, every month, and every day of the week, he will execute a backup and put logs to our backup folder. Okay, let's go out. Are we sure we want to make it? We want to save it. Yes, we have date. So in a couple of seconds, he should create, in 7 seconds, he should create something here. Okay, let's close that. Let's wait. Here it is. Okay, for sure. That's cool. It makes no sense to take a look on that using VS Code. Okay, in any kind of real world, probably every minute make no sense. Let's try to do it like, let's say, every hour. 2 past, or I don't know, 2 past midnight. It depends. It depends on what you need exactly. Okay, so all we need to take care is this folder in terms of backups and redundancy and stuff like that. So we have configured Netbox, we have database, and we have automatic backup. I hope it was fun for you. For me it was. I like Netbox. I'm using Netbox a lot, so enjoy. Thanks for staying till the end. Remember, if you need our support in designing, implementing, or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access, or TrueNAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support, but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Meanwhile, we invite you to watch other materials or maybe see you later. Thanks. Bye.